Outriders, Exiled, Captains. Welcome to Loot Universe. I am your host, Ogaz, and today we're here to explore the one thing that I think is simultaneously what makes Outriders unique, and the thing that I think will hold it back in the minds of many. And you know, it's a funny thing. I've noticed that despite the fun we and many players of Twitter, Reddit, etc. have had, that there is definitely a number of players out there that are just not convinced. And I can understand that, given the string of looter-shooter launch horrors that we've seen in the recent past. And whether they seek the awesomeness, the flight mechanics and verticality of Anthem, the superbly agile run and cover mechanics of the Division, or the fantastic first-person perspective and input controls of Destiny, I feel each of us are finding our own reasons for why Outriders doesn't sit right with us. And whilst I've been an advocate for this game, observing its so far exceptional class depth, diversity, and its interesting loot design, I think there is something more to the equation than all of these reasons. And that one thing, I think, is the environment. You see, in the Division, we have an accurately produced Washington or New York, masterfully crafted and so true to life that one even stops to look at piles of garbage bags and appreciate the depth. Well, I do. Destiny gives us that, true space opera action experience. Stunning weapon design, vivid, unique environments, and a uniqueness that spews from its design philosophy. And then there's Outriders. It's brown. Now here's the issue. The Outriders demo has been a 2 to 3 hour playthrough. A playthrough well covered on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. Extensively, I might add, for the past month. And as I scour through my capture footage to use for each video we do here, I keep seeing, dark, drab, browns, greens, maroons, dark reds, greys, subdued lighting, unpleasant skies, dusty and worn internal environments, and I can go on. In short, aesthetically speaking, the environment art of Outriders and its demo is derived from its post-apocalyptic story arc. It is dark, it is dreary, it is drab, and it's foreboding. It's not lacking in detail per se, or effort, or level design. The detail's there. So far, the world seems well presented and well built. Rifttown, for example, is a far reach from the boring, sedate and quiet areas that we had in Fort Tarsus in Anthem. And additionally, Outriders seems to offer a very decent gameplay loop, challenging enemy encounters and balanced gameplay. But is that actually the point here? People Can Fly have said historically that this game was an escape from their roots of Gears of War and Bulletstorm. And whilst those titles share some resemblance here, given their Unreal Engine heritage and maybe not too different colour palette, Outriders is much darker in tone, in story, and its environment design. From the opening scenes in the prologue, to the rough grittiness of Rifttown, and to the lands out in Enoch where we meet Gauze and our favourite captain, the theme continues, dark, drab, dreary. But Enoch is not all like this. Now I've compiled some scenes from expeditions, trailers, cutscenes, and other released gameplay footage from People Can Fly, and you can clearly identify the diversity of environments that we're seeing in Enoch. There are luscious areas, like we very briefly see in the main opening of the Outriders demo. There are rocky mountains, snow-capped peaks, lush jungles, ancient, almost Mayan-influenced expeditions, sun-soaked concrete cityscapes, and industrial factories and bases. Now that said, even with this diversity in all of these environments, they still seem to present themselves as dreary, sad, dark, lonely, and desolate. And that's okay, because it's clear that that's the tone, that's the feeling, the response that People Can Fly want from us as players. In all, it's interesting and possibly a damning take on design. The game environment art doesn't make you identify with the Division's realism, with Destiny's orbital vistas, or with the lusciousness of Anthem's Bastion. Instead, it paints a depressing canvas where life is brittle, humans are fodder, and Enoch is your master. Now, whilst Outriders doesn't appear to have the pop and sizzle of other looter shooters, and that I feel this hurts its visual identity to the mainstream gamer, I think it achieves enough in its design, story, and mechanics for it to take that risk and present an environment that truly honours its story. After all, let's not forget the opening line to this demo: Earth is dead. So in short, I think People Can Fly have taken a big risk with this design. I think it's beautiful, I think it's wonderful, and I think it's unique. The problem is, its darkness and its dreariness don't sing to mainstream gamers in some ways. They don't pop. Anyway, just some interesting take and hopefully some conversations for you to think about in terms of environment art, and the one thing that I personally think is possibly the one that holds people back, or at least allows people to put Outriders in that generic looter-shooter concept. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed today's take on environment art, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course, check us out at Twitter. We are at Looter Universe, and I'm going to leave it there, Outriders. I'm Ogaz for Looter Universe, and I will see you next out in Enoch.
I feel a storm cloud coming down today. I feel those hills